Natalie, thank you so much for being here. We are very happy to have you on board. You're such a young, talented woman who followed her path, chased her dreams, and created something from scratch. So I'm very curious about today's interview, and I want to know everything about you. That's why we have many questions. But I would like you to introduce us yourself, firstly, and also your brand, Stay Wild.
Perfect. Thank you. So my name is Natalie Glaze, and I am the co-founder of Stay Wild, a sustainable swimwear brand based here in London. So our brand combines premium pieces, luxury fashion with sustainability. So all of our pieces are made from recycled ocean plastic, and we think about every element with the planet in mind. So we're doing things in a lot slower, more mindful way. And for us, it was really important that our pieces empowered women and could fit all different shapes of bodies and women. So yeah, that's kind of a little overview of our business. We started it, I think, just under 2 years ago now, and that's me and my co-founder. And we started it in a bit of a backward sense. So we had the idea, and then we decided to launch the Instagram, and this was all in a coffee shop. So it was all very kind of like, this is an amazing idea, let's create an Instagram and go from there. And even though it's only been 2 years and we are kind of making it up as we go along, we've had a really successful 2 years. It's been amazing. We have created pieces that have sold out. We have showcased at fashion weeks. We have been in fashion press and, you know, worked with some huge brands such as like Instagram on global campaigns. So yeah, it's been a really successful 2 years, and it's amazing to showcase that you can have like a sustainable brand that puts the planet first and still kind of create something that is success and that people actually want to buy and support.
Mm-hmm. It's such a success story. It's very inspiring for anyone who wants to start their own business, you know, because many people, especially young people, want to start something new, start something from scratch. And you're a good example for them.
I try.
So we want to promote this young, powerful figure to our community. Could you please describe a little bit the production process of the products?
Yeah, of course. So I mentioned earlier, so we make all of our pieces from regenerated ocean plastic. So we partner with a company called incompetent. They're based in Italy. And essentially that material is ocean plastic waste and industrial waste, which is then broken down to its original fiber and respun into this amazing material, which we can then use in our swimwear. So for us, it was really important that our material was sustainable. And that's not just the material, that's the thread, even down to the biodegradable hygiene liners, which are made from tree pulp, which is not a glamorous conversation, but like for us, every little detail matters. And we wanted to do things in a slower, more conscious way. So for us, we promote more of a slow fashion. So we don't do huge stock runs. We don't like create loads and loads of styles and loads of pieces. For us, it's more mindful consumption. And we wanted to make everything locally here in London, partly because me and my co-founder, we didn't really know how factories worked or how designing fashion worked. So we wanted to be able to go in, and like for us, it's important that we have a human connection with everyone who makes our pieces. Like we know that they're getting treated well, getting paid fairly, it's an ethical factory, and we're able to pop in and I know every person who's part of our swimwear production, which I think for us is really special, that it's local and done in a way that we can have that close connection with it.
Mm-hmm. I think human connection makes things more real, authentic, and it's very important that you mentioned that. But why did you decide to create a sustainable brand? I mean, you were always like this, like concerned about environmental issues?
Yeah, so both me and my co-founder were brought up near the ocean. So I've spent my whole life, my whole childhood near the sea, around nature. So I think that connection to the ocean brought me and my co-founder together. We both have a love for the sea, and we wanted to create a piece with a purpose, like a product, and put something out there to the world which actually did good, as opposed to, you know, harm the planet and more. And for us, it was important. And I think that's what brought us together. That's why we started the business. Like, we as ocean lovers are aware of the devastating effects of ocean plastic on our seas and like the sheer amount that's in there. So for us, it was really important that we could create something that actually did good and that could take that ocean. Because if you look at the numbers, it is mind-boggling how much ocean plastic is there. It's like a truckload a minute goes into the sea. So for us, being able to take the ocean plastic out of the seas and be able to turn it into beautiful, functional pieces, I think was something that really kind of that ignited our passion, both of us. So we decided to kind of go ahead with this venture. And I think also creating a fashion brand that kind of had a slightly slower, more mindful approach to creating garments was very important to us. So I think a combination of the love of the sea, the devastating effects of ocean plastic, and also just wanting to create something with a purpose, I think that's what kind of brought us together. And yeah, we both loved swimwear, and for some reason we decided this was a good idea. And here we are 2 years later.
And yes, it was indeed. Well, I am a woman and I love swimwear, and I was also raised and born on an island, so I can totally understand what you mean. And your passion, your love for the sea, keeps you going. It doesn't let you give up.
Yeah, I agree.
But how restrictive is to use sustainable materials while you're trying to create something stylish and modern as well? Is it difficult to find those kind of things, and are they more expensive for a company?
So I think with sustainability, like currently it is a slightly longer process. Like it takes more research into the materials. You have to look at the kind of each element of what you're doing. And yes, right now it is more expensive. But I think for us as a business, we wanted to make sure that we were proud of every single decision we made, that every element of our business was a kind of came from a sustainable place. So for us, it was important, and that wasn't, we weren't willing to cut any corners. So we wanted to go down the sustainable route, which does mean more time, more restrictive, it is more expensive. But I think what I've really noticed is a shift in consumer mindset. So our customers, they want to see what materials are being used in pieces, what materials are being used in fashion brands. People's mindsets and like people are becoming more and more aware of the impact of clothing, of fashion, of textiles on the planet and on the ocean. So I think now I've really seen this shift into it becoming more mainstream. So hopefully down the line, sustainable fabrics are the norm and they are more accessible for brands to use and they're more accessible for people to purchase. So I think there's definitely been a shift. So although it is more expensive and slower, I think I've really seen this consumer shift towards sustainability, but then a lot of it, the sustainable stuff will also, you make it to last longer. So yes, it is more expensive in terms of materials, but those materials are the highest quality and they're made to last like a lifetime. So yeah, for us, it's been interesting. Lots of research, lots of Googling and finding out stuff. But yeah, it's definitely something which we weren't willing to cut corners on.
Very interesting information. I have written some down. Thank you, Natalie.
Taking notes.
And well, I think some people have already asked you that, but do you believe that your customers shop with you because of your designs and because of your quality? As you said, the materials last longer, so your products are of good quality, or they just want to support your sustainable mindset and this whole environmental thing?
I think both, actually. And I think that there isn't a black and white one or the other. I think we when we started, sustainability was the core and the heart of our business and every decision that we made. And lots of customers came to us for that. However, for us, design, functionality, creating beautiful pieces just as important. And we want people to come to our brand because they love the pieces, because they think they're beautiful and that they would want to buy them anyway. And I think, especially if you're creating a sustainable fashion product like we are, it has to be long lasting, high quality, functional, and people have to want to purchase that. Even if it wasn't sustainable, you need to have a kind of a piece that's going to stand up against these unsustainable products out there. So I think for us, it's really important that we have customers who come to us for the sustainability and what we're, practicing, but also because they love our pieces and our design. And I think that's what we are trying to show, that actually sustainability doesn't need to, you don't have to give up style and design and functionality. You can have both. And I think that's what we're trying to push as a brand, that people come to us for both.
Mm-hmm. I think brands like yours are trying to attract loyal customers. You don't need just a drop in. You need a customer who believes in your brand and your whole project. And do you get to know your customers? I mean, do you get to know them personally, or do you make any moves in order to engage them with your brand?
Yeah, massively. Customers have been probably the biggest part of our business. When we started, we always said it was myself, my business partner, and our Instagram audience, so almost like our third team member. We have always, from the beginning, asked them questions. So we get them involved at every stage, whether it's voting on colors, whether it's choosing collection names, product names. Like for us, it's important that they have a voice and feel represented and listened to. So they, as an audience, they're going to ask, why can we have this kind of color? And we're like, yeah, okay, we'll listen to you, because in the end of the day, they should be listened to and represented, because they're who's buying our pieces. So we've done open casting calls on social media where we've had hundreds of applications. And that was purely on a whim, because we were like, actually, we need to get a variety of women to wear our pieces, and getting them to vote on collection colors. And a lot of that has come down to, like I said before, that we started this business with zero background. And we were a bit like, we don't really know what we're doing. So let's ask people, like, they're going to be buying it. Let's see what colors they want. And people were able to vote on stories, on social media, and able to help almost build our brand with us. So our customers and that relationship and listening to them is so crucial to our business. And I think it's really helped us develop to where we are now.
So you listen to your customers, and many business people forget about that, and they don't listen. They just they produce whatever they think that people need, but in the end, people don't need that. And I think the thing with the engagement with the customers made Instagram easier for you through social media. And I have another question as well. As a brand, I think you mentioned it, you support diversity of bodies, of models, and how important it is to your brand, this part of your project.
Well, it's hugely important, but I think it should be hugely important for every brand, because for us, we're creating a product for women or people to buy, and that product should be shown and represented on those women who are going to buy from us. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, gone are the days where you see one type of body, one hair color, one skin color, one gender on a website. Now it's like, if you should be showing and representing your audience. And for us, it's very important. And that's why we did open casting calls. It's like, any woman, any age, any size, like, it doesn't matter. You can model for us. You can be part of our modeling and on all of our social media images. And they're all women from our casting calls. And like, we never Photoshop. We're not going to edit pictures. Like, we'll embrace scars, stretch marks, colostomy bags, like anything, because actually all bodies should be celebrated. And if we're creating a brand and saying these pieces are for all bodies, we should be showcasing them so people then can go onto our website and see what that piece would look like on them. And I think it's important as a business that that's what you should be doing, not just a ticker box, but because they're your customers. So therefore you should represent them. And we're probably not perfect, and we probably haven't represented every type of body, but like, for us, it's very crucial that each time we do a casting call, we get more and more women involved in our business and showcase our swimwear on all of these different bodies and humans.
I love that. I love that because in the end, we just need to be ourselves, right? And ourselves may not be skinny, blonde, but it doesn't matter because
Yeah.
it's just who we are. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it in the beginning that many young people want to start their own business, and I am one of those people. I want to create my own company one day. So I just need a piece of advice from you, and especially for people who want to start a sustainable business. What would
Yeah.
you advise them to do?
Well, I would say, because when we started our business, I think the best bit of advice that I got actually was just start. Like, don't wait until your product is perfect. Don't wait until you've got every single detail, because that day may never come, that you may never be completely ready. Actually, just go out there with your product, engage with your customers, listen to what they want, get feedback, adjust. And I think actually that's been one of the most important lessons, of something which I tell anyone launching a business or running a business, is listen to your customers. They are the people who will be buying from you. So therefore, they are the people that actually, that's the most important person to listen to, more than what you think. It's more what they think. You know, they're building your brands. And I think that's something, like, I'm about to launch a new business, which is a sustainable jewelry and ceramics business on the side of Stay Wild. And that is something which I'm like 100% have learned from Stay Wild, and I will bring into whatever business I run next. Will always include that. And I think it's learning that, you know, it's okay. When I first started a business, I thought everyone around me knew what they were doing. Everyone around me had it like nailed. Well, actually, no one knows what they're doing. You know, nobody knows what they're doing. Everyone's making it up. And I think that's something which is really, really crucial.
People believe that all business people have a structured plan. They have thought everything, but it's not like that always. And
we didn't have a business plan, actually. I think lots of people think that lots of businesses have a business plan. They have a structure. We had no business plan. We literally went in blind to business. Like, we just made it up as we went along. And I think that is something that lots of people think that you have to, and I think it does probably help to have a bit more structure. But I think actually learning that lots of people are making it up as they go along. Lots of people are, you figure it out as you go. And I think that is such an important lesson. It's like, learn on the job, learn as you go. You might make mistakes. You might find out that wasn't the best way to do it. Let's try this way. But that's what makes you like know your business better, know your audience better. That's what helps you grow as a business. And I think that's really, really crucial.
So the perfect day is just today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We can close with this motto. Thank you. Thank you so much. Your story is really, really inspiring. And I think that everyone who is watching it right now will love it. So thank you for all the information, the energy, the inspiration. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thanks so much.